Welcome back to Callahan's Corner, where you ask the questions and we answer them live right here on Facebook. So going live here, we had a question submitted. I'm going to make sure here on my phone that we are indeed live on Facebook, and you can actually see and hear me. So if you're watching in the live version, just let me know that you can hear the audio. But what we're going to be talking about here, looks like we're good, is a pre-submitted question around how do we go out and estimate mulch for bulk products and bagged products, and how do we account for the amount of quantity based on 1, 2, and 3 inch depth in a mulch estimate. In addition, there's certain things we should be looking at, in my opinion, that I want to add on to the suggested question. So if you're watching live, let me know if you can hear the audio kind of going here without the headphones. I'm going to plug these in just so you can actually hear this. But the question literally was, how do we go out and create a mulch estimate for success and be able to guarantee a quantity and budgeted time based on mulch depth, so how much in the bed, and loading, drive time to the nursery if you got to go, or the wholesaler, and drive time to the job, and how many people are on the job. So I'm going to break this down, how to do this, and I've got a special bonus for you. I'm going to put this actually in the comments. So, hey, what's up, Cecil? Thank you for dropping that in here. And Cecil, if you check it out in the comments here, I've got a free template you can download that's going to let you do this on the fly at no extra cost. So after 25 years in the lawn and landscape industry, one of the biggest hurdles in my business was being able to go out and do mulch estimates with accuracy, and then be able to delegate them to somebody who'd never done mulch estimates. And obviously you don't want to be underbidding the amount of product, but you don't want to overbid the amount of product either. We need to keep those non-billable things such as drive time, loading, and additional trips back to the nursery or shop to get more mulch if it's a very large job. So I'm going to try to break this down in bulk mulch and bagged mulch. And if you go in the comments here, we've got a free template that you can download and start using yourself. And if an additional bonus, if you're a Service Autopilot user, at the end of this, I'm going to show you how to take this all and put it inside Service Autopilot for success. So without any further delay, here we go in normal Callahan's Corner fashion. So first thing we're looking at is, if you go into the comments on Facebook Live, it says free estimate template download, and it says Facebook Live.SimpleGrowth Systems, and it's got a bunch of things on there. If you click that and fill it out now or later, you can download this template. So I'm going to show you how to use this template for success, for predictable estimates for yourself, and to delegate it to your team. So the first thing is our data information sheet here. We fill this out once a year, but this is going to get all the foundational information. So it's kind of set it and forget it. And here is the link that is in the comments to get a free copy of this here. So what we're going to do is set our hourly goal. So let's say we're making $65 an hour. That's our goal. How much revenue we want to generate per man hour. We're going to enter in our cost per yard of mulch bulk to buy it from our vendor or wholesaler. I'm going to say we're buying this mulch at $28 a yard. And if we're doing bagged mulch, let's say we're buying our bagged mulch from a big box store like Home Depot in quantity for $2.50 a bag. Big pro tip here is Lowe's and Home Depot. If you tell them and guarantee that you're going to buy at least a tractor trailer full, you can get a 2 cubic yard bag of mulch, premium mulch, for about $1.97 a bag. And then you go to their pro desk and work with them and tell them you want drop ship delivery, and they should be able to lock that in for about 10 to 12 bucks delivery, whether it's 1 bag or 150 bags. That was a massive turning point at Callahan's Lawn Care, my business. So whether you're using bulk or bag, this sheet's going to work. And if you use both, well, you've got the double benefit here. So what are we charging per yard install, labor, and materials for bulk mulch? I'm going to say we're charging $110 per yard. Obviously, this is fictitious. You got to make sure that it is appropriate to your business. And what is our charge per bag installed, labor, and materials here? I'm going to say we're charging $5.50 per bag of mulch. Now, once this is set up, we figured out our hourly goal, our cost to acquire the materials, and what we're charging labor and materials. Now, when we go to the job or we measure it online, we've got the bulk and we've got the bag down here. So I'm going to go into the bulk tab here, and same idea here. So once again, in the comments, you can click on the link and download this for free because I thought it was my duty as a fellow professional in the lawn and landscape industry to provide this, because this was a big issue in my business, to scale the business and take my life back from the business. And added bonus on top of this is if you're a Service Autopilot user, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to take all this and actually build it into SA. But you definitely want to download this template because this is something you're going to need. So I pull up to a property measured online. I'm going to select if I want a 1, 2, or 3 inch depth. So I'm going to go in and say, you know what? I've got about 550 square feet and I want a 2 inch depth. So I'm going to stick that in there. Now I'm going to go and say, okay, what's the drive time to the loading area? So if it's loading at your own shop, it would be 0. But let's say we're running out to the nursery or a wholesaler. It's a 15-minute drive. What's the time to load the materials in minutes? So let's say at that vendor or that nursery, there's always a line. It's probably about 20 minutes said and done by the time we go into the register, we get the slip, and we go out back to the yard. What's the drive time to the job site in minutes? Well, that's another 10 minutes to the job I'm estimating right now, ballpark. And then what's the drive time back to my shop? Or if you're doing it a secondary job after that, we want to track for that drive time. So we're going to go in. I'm going to say it's another 25 minutes back to my shop. Based on 550 square feet, the sheet is telling me it's 2.75 yards. So my dump truck, I can fit that all day. So there's no more trips to reload. But if there was, I could put that in there. And number of people on the crew, I got a 2-man mulching crew. And the time to install the mulch. So what we're looking at is on average, industry average. What I'd recommend using, if you don't know what the average is an 1 hour or 1 man hour per yard. So this is going to be 2.75 hours. So everything else here is in minutes. This is in hours based on the industry average. Just be aware when you download that that's the case. So what we've got is our total price now is $302 or $302.50. The yards recorded material is 2.75 yards, and the budgeted hours, including loading and drive time and everything else in between, is 5.62 hours. So we know the total time that should take. So we could do that in bulk. Well, Mike, what if we're doing bagged products? We're in the southern market or northern market that's adopted to this bagged mulch. So we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to go in. I'm going to plug this in as 500 yards here at a 2 inch depth again. Actually, I'll keep it the same, 550 square feet. And I don't remember what these were, but I'll copy them down just so we have the same information here. But once again, we're plugging in the drive time to the loading area, time to load the materials. So maybe it's 20 minutes to go to Lowe's or Home Depot for them to load your truck if you're not taking advantage of that drop shipping, which is a huge, huge benefit. I got to recommend you call Home Depot or Lowe's to see what that looks like. Drive time back to the shop, number of trips to reload, and number of people on the crew. Time to install, 2.75 hours. Approximately 1 hour per 13.5 bags. That's the equivalent of a 2 cubic yard bag is 13.5 bags to a yard. Now, total price here, I'm gonna update the format here so we can see it. So it's $204.19. Bags required are 37.12 bags. We'd round that up to 38. And the budgeted time, including loading, drive time, and everything else in between, is 5.62 hours. So these are all the things that you would need to plug into your estimate for success and overhead recovery. So once again, if you go in the comments of this Facebook Live right here, it's a free downloadable template, and you can keep this free of charge. I just thought it was basically my calling or my responsibility to share this with you. So I'm going to give you a free charge, no charge, but this is about a $250 to probably $500 value if you were to hire us to consult you to build this out for you. So that's the game plan there. So if you are a Service Autopilot user, and if you're watching this and you are a Service Autopilot user, type in SA in the comments so I know. And if I've got a few Service Autopilot users here, what I'm going to do is actually jump into Service Autopilot and show you how to build this out inside Service Autopilot. So is anybody here a Service Autopilot user and interested in it to see how do we get those formulas from the free downloadable template into Service Autopilot? All right. Well, looks like just by a couple names here, there are a couple Service Autopilot users. So no matter your software platform, you can download that template in the comments. And if you want to see how to break this down in SA, we're going to do it for you live here. So what we're going to do is go into the SimpleGrowth estimate template. And the first thing we're going to do is create a service here of mulch installation. So I'm going to do this for bulk mulch, but this is going to be the same thing for bagged mulch. And if you download that template, this is going to give you a part of the roadmap. So what's up, Jonathan? SA, gotta be. All right, brother. So we're going to do this mulch installation. All right, and this is going to be our parent service. So this is the service everybody will see. I'm going to go in here and select mulch. (1" and I'm going to go, the combination that you want to do is from 1 to 300 square feet is, I'm going to charge the same thing here, 110 bucks a yard. And I'm going to put in 1 budgeted hour, and my charge per man hour is going to be 65 bucks. I'm going to say my expense per man hour, what it costs me before I make a profit break even, is 36 bucks. And my cost per yard, I'm going to update this, per yard is at 28 bucks. And I'm taking my budget hours times my expense per man hour, and I'm going to add in the 1 yard of mulch for that. So that is going to cover my cost and profit. So fictitiously, 1 yard of mulch is 110. It's taking an hour for one person to do it. Labor and materials is costing me $64, and I have a profit of $46 per yard installed and a profit percentage net after everything of 41.82. Then I'm going to say every 1 yard over my, actually it's going to be every 300 square feet over my base price of 300 right here is an additional $110, 1 hour, and a budgeted cost of 64 bucks. So now that is our 1 mulch. And what I'm going to do just for some speed and simplicity is copy this down. So I've got my 1 mulch. And once again, if you download it in the comments here of the Facebook Live, you're going to get a copy of all this stuff that you can use in your business, no matter what software you're using. So I'm going to go in now and break this down to a 2 mulch. I'm going to break this down so it's 1 to 200 square feet. Price, time, and cost are the same. And so it's going to be every 200 over the 200. All right, and that is our 2 mulch. And I'm going to show you how to get this in the SA and build this all out here in a minute. And then our mulch at 3 depth is every 100 square feet equals a yard, and every 100 over the base price of 100 is 110 a yard. So once again, we're covering our charge per man hour, expense, break even, labor burden, overhead, all our expenses, and our cost of materials. So this is going to play right into the V3 estimates that are being developed over at SA as well. So this is kind of the rhythm you want to get into. So I've had the pleasure to be on some of those calls with SA as they're building it out. So now we've got our SimpleGrowth blueprint. And like I talk about, we don't build a house without a blueprint. We don't put windows, doors, and everything else in there just on random. Well, we need the SimpleGrowth blueprint to build our estimates inside Service Autopilot. So what I'm going to do is take this bad boy here. And actually, I'm going to leave it here for a minute. So the first step we're going to do is really, we're going into our gear icon. And first thing we always do is build out our custom field, because that's the foundational piece of the system. So I'm going to go in here and just for speed and simplicity, I'm going to put 999 mulch 1 inch. And the only reason the 999 is there is I want to be able to find it quickly, because we've got hundreds of custom fields in this thing. So we're going to set that to a number. I'm going to save and new, and we're going to do 999 2 inches of mulch, make that a number. And I'm going to do the 999 mulch 3 inches and make that a number. So now foundation, the first step is we need to go and set our custom fields. Now we're going to go into the gear icon services and build this out. And one of the questions I always get, so full transparency, about the last 7 to 10 business days, we have done I would say 17 or 18 service autopilot setups where we sit knee to knee with you virtually. We build out 15 to about 20 services and set this up and help you build your pricing for success, set it up, and then train you how to do it. And you get access to our online learning hub. A lot of people will say, what is the difference between a certified advisor such as SimpleGrowth and what you would get for the launch and setup from Service Autopilot? Well, first of all, I got to say Service Autopilot does a great job, and I love what they do. But there is a difference because Service Autopilot is not an industry-specific expert in the fact that they don't have people helping you set up your services that have scaled $1 million beyond business. We have several people on the SimpleGrowth team that do that. So we sit knee to knee to you, and we talk from the trenches that you're living in because we are also living in them or have lived in them. And we build the system more like a custom-built home versus a manufactured generic home. So you're going to get the basics from SA's launch team. They do a great job. Highly recommend checking that out. But if you're looking to take your business to the next level and customize this and make sure that your SA is set up to your particular services and your workflow and your costs and overhead, that's what we bring to the table. And if you end up doing it yourself, I'm showing you how to do this right here. So we've got some services. So we're going to go back to the SimpleGrowth blueprint. If you work with SimpleGrowth to set this up for you, if it's something you want to do, you get to keep this. So we just don't give you the fish. We teach you how to fish. And that's how we tackle this. So we're not looking to get you on a subscription to set up your Service Autopilot and support this. We just want to set it up and make you self-sufficient so you can go in and change this year after year and you can be self-sufficient. Because that's not what SimpleGrowth does. SimpleGrowth goes out and does automations and expert implementation per industry based on your services, and we customize your system down for you. So a lot of people have been asking lately, what's the difference between what we do and Service Autopilot? And that is the big difference right there. So what we're going to do is set up our first service. I'm going to just make them all $9.99, and this is going to be Mulch installation. So this is our parent service. And just for speed and simplicity, I'm going to copy this down. But you need a code. You need a per service unit. You need an account. And we need an estimate description. Rate matrix, we don't need one right now for this one. So I'm going to save a new. That's our parent service. So we've got that right here. So we're just going down here. Mulch 1 inch is our first service. So we're going to go in and estimates only. We're going to rate matrix. We're going to quantity, rate times visits, and we're going to Mulch 1 inch. And what we're doing is we're taking our top 3 lines here and transposing them over. That's why it's a blueprint. We're transferring those, and we're going to check our profit percentage. So if you implement in blueprint, we'd like to call that blimplementing. Blimplementing is not the way to go. We want to blueprint and then implement. So we're going to take this process here and go from 1 to 300 is $110 per yard, 1 hour, and our labor, materials, and break-even overhead is $64 per yard. And that's going to be our every 300 over our 300 is $110 per yard, 1 hour to install it, and another $64. So we've got our 1 inch mulch. We're going to go in, save and new. We are going to go in and build our 2 inch mulch. Estimates only. And the one thing I missed on the first one is we want to select our parent service of mulch installation. We'll go back and fix the other one here in a minute. So that is our 2 inch mulch, and that is going to be from 1 to 200 is $110 a yard, 1 hour, and just like before, it's $64 break even, as you can see here. So we're breaking that down quickly here, but this is how we do this, folks. We're lifting the hood of how to create predictable expert estimates that can be delegatable to anybody on your team as long as they can measure a bed. I'm going to hit save real quick and going a little fast here. So I want to make sure that we grab mulch installation 1 inch and we associate it to the parent service of mulch installation. And now we're going to make our 3 inch mulch. Once again, this is going to give you the ability to have some customization based on the depth of the mulch. And this is how we did it in my company. And I will tell you, it works really well. Quantity rate times visits. Once again, we're going into that 3-inch custom field. Looks like I forgot to save it, but that's definitely it. So for time and simplicity, we'll leave it as it is. 110, 1 hour and 64. And then every 100 over 100 is 1 hour, is 110, 1 hour and $64. And you can see I'm going pretty quick here, but folks, we did 17 of these in the last 7 to 10 business days, setting these up for Service Autopilot users. But we give this to you and you can change it. So the crazy thing is here is if your expense per hour changes next year, you can plug this in and say it went up to say $38 an hour. You can see that number changes. Now you just take these 5 lines and update your cell. So this is where SimpleGrowth, if you're using Service Autopilot, will allow you to be self-sufficient and continue to manage your system without having to pay us to do it. The idea is we want to set it up for you for success, test it, and then train you and give you the tools to be self-sufficient on that. And that's the goal of that there. So we want to make sure that you're up and running. So we've got that all set up. Now, next thing we're going to do is go in and create a job estimate template to pull all that in automatically. So in addition, a lot of people, I've got a couple private messages here say, hey, Mike, how can we how can we talk to you guys to possibly have a quote to get this set up for you? So I'm going to put this in here. Book a call. So in the comments, if you click that link, you can talk to myself or Dylan on the SimpleGrowth team. Dylan's also grown and scaled a $1 million plus business well beyond actually without getting his financials. So Dylan and I and Chad have all built $1 million plus businesses here on the SimpleGrowth team. So you're not just talking to somebody on the phone. You're talking to somebody who has lived the trenches or still living the trenches that you're living in. And we're going to give you the best practice. So we're going to build that template here. So as you're looking at stepwise, you have built your custom. Well, you download the free estimate template from SimpleGrowth in the comments. Then if you're going in the Service Autopilot, you're building your blueprint, you're building your custom fields, you're building your services with the parent-service-child relationship. Now we're going and building a template. We're going in and naming it. We're going to do it for both estimates and jobs. We're going to select an estimate document. Now your estimate document, if you need some help with this, click that link to book a call with Dylan and I can show you. It's that Schedule You link. We can show you how to do this, or if you need some help, we can do it for you. But basically, the idea is we've got an estimate email with a link, an estimate document where it shows the prices with the signature, and then we got an estimate acceptance email that goes out automatically to let the consumer know, like, hey, we know you've signed up. We'll be reaching out. So I'm going to associate this to this document. And what we're going to do is add the main service, that's our parent service of 999 mulch installation. And we are going to go in and add the 1, 2, and 3 inch depth. Kind of hit and miss with this include default services. We'll try it, see what happens live here. It duplicates it out, so we got to delete this out. And then we can add in the 3 inch mulch. Remember that we didn't have 3 inches there just for time's sake. We saved it without the, oh, actually, maybe we did. So I think we're all right. So we're going to delete these two out. So we've got 1, 2, 3 inch mulch. They duplicated because they had checkbox there. So if you got that checkbox, just deselect it. But now we've got it rocking and rolling. It's ready to go. I recommend testing it. So if I put 300 across the board in these, this is going to be 200. And this should be 100. So we're good. Everything is going to work. So you don't want to save that, but that's a quick testing method to make sure you're good. 0, save and close. So now what we're going to do is go in and create a quick form. Well, actually, we're going to skip the form, but we'll go in. We'll go in and grab our test client. We'll go into our test client and add an estimate. If we can get that to load. And what we're going to do is take that square footage and plug it in the 1, 2, or 3 inch depth marking and rock and roll with that. So let's actually, you know what? We'll build this out really quickly because this is pretty cool, the workflow. And I like the way this works with Service Autopilot. Because the cool thing is, like, we call it an on-site estimate form. You can pull it up on your mobile and you can plug this in on the legacy or team app. So if we go to marketing forms, I'm going to do a V3 or V2 form. We recommend, as a certified advisor, at least in our opinion, that you stay in V2 right now. V3 is not show ready. V3 forms, I don't mind using them, but that is it's user's preference. But when we build out your estimate request form for your website right now, we are launching those in V3. So that is something that is worth looking at. For sure. So any comments or questions, drop them below here. I've got some internet issues, so it's taking a minute or two, but here we go. We're going to add a form, and we would go back traditionally to the SimpleGrowth blueprint and figure out what these custom fields were and transfer them over. And obviously, I've done more than a few of these, so I've kind of got them in my head how we do them. But setting up approximately 17 or 18 of these here in the last 7 to 10 days. This is what we do full time. SA setups, automations, Facebook Messenger bots. And we've got a team now of probably 14 or 15 full-time people that do nothing but this stuff for our clients. So let's give this a second here. I think I clicked on this one too many times. So we'll want to say what's up to Jonathan and Cecil as well, watching live. We're going to call this our 20 dot on-site estimate form, and when we set them up for everybody, this is part of the process. So kind of just demystifying how this is done and what it includes. By all means, you can definitely do this yourself. So we're going to go in, we're going to add address and name. V2, you got to map these back physically. V3, it does it automatically for you. We're going first name, last name. Address is going to be service address, not billing address. Otherwise, this will not work. Other thing is settings here. We want to go in and show on mobile, so we can use that legacy and team app and auto proof, create and submit. We want to update lead, and I want to add in a couple custom fields. So this is Mulch. One inch, maybe. All right, there we go. We got Mulch 1 inch. We're going to map that back to a custom field. Add another field. That's going to be a number. We're clicking in there. So what we're doing is creating a process that can be delegated to pretty much anybody on your team through this form with non-emotion. So you'll see what the end product here is in a second. We're mapping this all back, and this is it's a tedious process. I'm not going to lie. It's we do it a lot, but this is something that can take hours to set up. But once it is, it will save massive time. All right, and we're going to our 3 inch mulch. And once again, we can do this for bagged products as well, not just bulk. Save and close. Let's see what happens now, folks. So we're going to go in. We're going to test tester. Last step is to default this. So on a leader or client, you only have to do this once, but we're going to add that on-site estimate form for easy access on the desktop as well. And that's one of the plays here. So we're going to put this under our sales system. So you can see we've got sales, employee, office KPIs, summer KPIs, winter, quality control forms, purchase offer, orders, and asset management. So these are some of the things that we used in my lawn care business here in this test account that we cloned over to give you an idea. But this was an easy way to access all those things. So any comments or questions, drop them below. Want to say what's up to Jonathan Woot, working at 10:30. Thanks for doing this. Well, brother, Sometimes the grind has got to be a grind. This is the time that you guys are working. This is the time I'm working. This is what we're doing, brother. We got to set up. Lawn care and business success right now is made in the next 3 months. So if you're going to put the work in, it's going to pay off the next 7 or 8 months after that, folks. So that's where I'm at with this. So take a look here, see if I can pull up the URL. But the idea is if this loads, there we go. So we're going to add that auto assist. Maybe not. We're going to jet back in. So we're going to hit that A for auto assist. And I've got about 60, 70 different tabs on this computer working right now. So this probably definitely is not SA, full transparency. But anything else, if you're just joining us, click the comments and download that template because this is going to be your roadmap for success to 2021 and beyond. So let this load up here and we'll grab this quickly. And maybe we can grab it from here as well. So once this loads, we're going to add the form in, and then we're going to actually just plug in the square footage. So basically that on-site estimate form is going to be able to be pulled up in your mobile. And I'm not exactly sure why this is acting so slow on us here. There we go. So what we're doing is now we've got it. I'm going to go in and add a form. And you can see we've done a few of these in this test account to show you guys. But basically the idea is we link the form once, it automatically loads, and then we plug in the square footage of the bed for 1, 2, or 3 inches, and we are ready to rock and roll. But this is kind of hanging up here for some reason. I'm guessing it's my computer. But either way, the idea here, let me log in to SA again and pull that up. May just be the amount of tabs I had, but this is not really common with this happening here. But let's grab this because I want to bring this full circle for you guys so you can see exactly what this looks like. There we go. So this will load up here. We're going to add this form. We'll fill it out, and then we'll create an estimate right there. So we would fill this out. Quite honestly, I'm a little boggled why that is not loading any quicker. So I may, full transparency, may have to restart my computer to get everything cleaned up, cookies and cache. But let me see if I can get this to load quickly for you guys and just plug in the custom field here. So what we do is we go in, we're going to add this estimate, and then that form will pull in the custom field, and it's automatically calculate the price, whether it's 1, 2, or 3 inches for you. So that is the workflow and setup process. So I'm thinking I got to clean my cookies and cache out here. So I'll end this video here, but basically that is the setup. Ray says they were doing maintenance tonight. No, Ray, that actually is probably a good point. Maybe they are working on the servers right now, and that is the issue. Maybe it's not my internet. So either way, folks, that's how you set it up. I'm going to see if I can get this to load real quickly here for you, just so you can kind of see what the finished product looks like, because it is pretty cool. And Ray, brother, I appreciate you saying that. Maybe that is it. Maybe I'm not going crazy. Maybe they are doing some maintenance tonight on the servers, because I did see a notice on that. So that may be it. So last chance. Let's see what happens. 999 mulch. And if we put in that 500 square feet, this would automatically load normal. Price, budget, time, and cost before profit, 41%. Draft to quote. We're going to hit save. Scroll up. We're going to hit email. pre-templated emails in here with some clickable buttons and our lead letter, the 5 or 6 main reasons why we're different. We're going to hit send, and I'm going to hop over to my other screen here. Ray and anybody else joining us earlier, check in the, or later, check the comments here. You can download our free mulch estimate template, how to estimate jobs for bagged and bulk mulch, 1, 2, and 3 inch depths. And then if you watch the rest of this video, it's actually going to show you how to implement all that inside Service Autopilot. But this estimate template right here is probably, I would say, conservatively at least $250, if not a $500 value for free. So feel free to download that in the link, and we will we'll take care of that for you. So there we go. So we've got the email here. I'm swinging it over, scrolling down, click here to view my proposal, and with any luck, mulch installation, $330. I can click it, scroll down. Got some videos that play live inside the estimate. We're gonna probably go. Let's see what Mike has to say about mulch here. So that plays live inside the estimate, and I'm talking about what's included, not included in the mulch estimation and our quality guarantee. But now I can go in as the consumer, click, sign, print, hit accept, and when I go back into Service Autopilot, there will be a time and date stamped IP address and a PDF of the electronic signature. So that brings it up here to pretty much the top of the hour. Appreciate everybody joining me. I want to thank Cecil, Jonathan, and Ray for joining us. But if you're looking to get a free estimate template, about a $500 value where you put your data information in and you can do bulk or bagged estimates, go ahead and click the link there in the comments. And I'll put that in there once again, just so you can you can see it. That's the actual link right there. It's in the comments. So if you're looking to get a free estimate template, about a $500 value that you can use in your business, and rewatch this video and show you how to use that to set this all up inside Service Autopilot, hopefully that will be helpful. So once again, if you have any comments or questions, drop them in the message, send me a private message, post them on Facebook, Callahan's Corner. You ask the questions, we answer them live right here on Facebook. We'll see you again sometime tomorrow and on the SA Weekly Talk Show at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central. Till then, go out and crush those business goals for 2021.